Drunk driver kills 22-year-old med student in Taichung. Tech company chairman stabs CTO to death over workplace dispute. Wen-je's father passes away, supporters pay respects. Court cancels arrest warrant for impeached President Yoon. 3 suspects wanted in Toronto pub shooting that injured 12. Endangered live lizards seized at Hong Kong airport. Thousands of Australians without power as storm Alfred lashes. Banksy's take on Vettriano's work sells for £4.3 million.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It's Monday, March 10th, International Bagpipe Day, and here are your top stories. In local news, a 22-year-old medical student delivering food in Taichung was fatally hit by a drunk driver who ran a red light. The 23-year-old unlicensed driver has been detained. The victim's father, a media executive, expressed grief, questioning Taiwan's zero-tolerance policy on drug driving. A shocking murder at Cubo AI left the company's CTO dead after being brutally attacked by the chairman, who later attempted self-harm. Authorities suspect long-standing disagreements and resentment over the CTO's resignation triggered the attack. The chairman remains in intensive care under 24-hour police watch, while an autopsy is pending to determine further details. Ko-Wen-je's father passed away on February 17th with a farewell ceremony held today in Hsinchu. Over 1,200 attendees, including political figures and supporters, came to pay their respects. A student traveled from Taichung, expressing hope for political fairness in Taiwan. And in global news, a South Korean court ruled Friday that the detention of impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol was unjustified, paving the way for his release from custody even as he faces trial on insurrection charges over his failed attempt to declare martial law. Yoon will not be released immediately, as prosecutors have 7 days to appeal the ruling. The prosecutor's office did not immediately comment. Yoon has been in custody since his arrest on January 15th, when he became the first sitting president of South Korea to be detained on criminal charges.
A previous effort to arrest him failed after an hours-long standoff at Yoon's official residence in Seoul between his security service and authorities. South Korea, one of the most vibrant democracies in Asia and a key U.S. ally, has been in political turmoil since December 3, when Yoon, citing anti-state forces, declared martial law before rescinding the order 6 hours later after lawmakers voted to reject it. Lawyers for Yoon have been pressing for his release, arguing that a second arrest warrant seeking to extend his detention after an initial 48-hour period was illegal due to procedural issues. The Seoul Central District Court said it was canceling that January 19 warrant because it was filed after the expiration of the 48-hour period.
3 people are being sought after 12 people were injured in a shooting at a Toronto pub Friday night. Toronto police said the shooting occurred around 10:40 p.m. near Progress Avenue and Corporate Drive, located in the Scarborough section of the city. The gunman opened fire at patrons as they entered the pub. Police confirmed that no one was killed and that all injuries were non-life-threatening. They added that 6 victims had suffered gunshot wounds. All victims were taken to hospitals for treatment.
When officers arrived on scene, they discovered 12 individuals suffering from various injuries. Those individuals were transported to local hospitals.
The 3 suspects wanted by police are all male. A motive for the shooting remains unclear. Police Superintendent Paul McIntyre said, one had an assault rifle. The other 2 had guns. He stated that the gunman wore masks during the shooting and that he had no idea where they are. He added, we're chasing down all leads. I can tell you, this was a brazen and reckless act of violence that's really shaken our community and the city itself. Video from CTV showed first responders wheeling a patient on a gurney to an ambulance and heavily armed police at the scene. All police resources have been deployed for the incident.
A total of 42 endangered live lizards were seized by customs officials at Hong Kong International Airport. Authorities said the lizards were discovered on Tuesday, concealed inside an air consignment declared to contain dehumidifiers, air purifiers, and cans of milk powder imported from Australia. The lizards have an estimated market value of 210,000 Hong Kong dollars. The case has been handed over to the Agriculture, Fisheries, and Conservation Department for further action.
Anyone importing, exporting, or possessing specimens of endangered species in violation of the Chinese Territories Protection Law faces a maximum fine of 10 million Hong Kong dollars and up to 10 years of imprisonment upon conviction, with the specimens forfeited. In 2024, Hong Kong officials made about 550 seizures of endangered plant and animal species, including live orchids, one of the most threatened plants on Earth, and American ginseng, which is listed as endangered in Canada. Last September, a 45-year-old Chinese woman was convicted and sentenced to 18 months in jail for smuggling 64 endangered turtles into Hong Kong. She had wrapped some of the turtles in socks and packed the rest in 2 small plastic boxes.
Hundreds of thousands of people in Australia's Queensland state were without power on Sunday after Alfred, a downgraded tropical cyclone, brought damaging winds and heavy rains, triggering flood warnings. Approximately 320,000 people in Queensland's southeast were affected, with the Gold Coast being the hardest hit area, leaving more than 112,000 people without power. The storm reached the Queensland coast on Saturday as a tropical low after 16 days as a cyclone, prompting preparations by millions of residents.
This emergency is not over, and it's not over for the following reasons. The rivers are full. The rain is continuing and expected to keep falling in the days ahead.
The state capital Brisbane was spared the brunt of the storm, which was also felt in the neighbouring state of New South Wales. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said on Sunday that the situation in Queensland and northern New South Wales remains very serious due to flash flooding and heavy winds. He added, heavy rainfall, damaging wind gusts, and coastal surf impacts are expected to continue over the coming days. The nation's Bureau of Meteorology reported that heavy rainfall, which could trigger flash flooding, was developing on Sunday and could impact Brisbane, as well as the Queensland regional centres of Ipswich, Sunshine Coast, and Gympie.
A Banksy reimagining of a work by the late Scottish painter Jack Vettriano has sold at auction for £4.3 million. Crude oil was put up for sale by Blink-182 bassist Mark Hoppus, who acquired the painting in 2011. It depicts the five-born artist's best-known work, The Singing Butler, which features a couple dancing on a storm-swept beach accompanied by their butler and maid, but with 2 figures in yellow hazmat suits, disposing of an oil drum in the background.
The sale to a private collector at Sotheby's in London on Tuesday evening came just days after Vettriano was found dead at the age of 73 at his apartment in France. The work was initially projected to fetch between £3 million and £5 million in the sale. The entirely hand-painted work, created using oil and spray paints, was first exhibited in 2005. It was initially placed in a disused shop window in Notting Hill, in full view of passers-by. Vettriano's original version sold at Sotheby's in 2004 for £744,800, the highest price for any Scottish artwork sold at auction at the time. A portion of the funds raised will go towards supporting the charity's Children's Hospital Los Angeles and Cedars-Sinai Hematology Oncology research.
The answer for last week was C, abnormal. During the checkup, the doctor detected an abnormal heartbeat, which led to further tests and a careful review of the patient's health condition. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into today's news. Endangered live lizards seized at Hong Kong airport. Number 1, endangered, 濒危的. Many endangered species are protected under international conservation laws. Number 2, consignment, 托运寄售. The store received a new consignment of designer handbags this morning. Number 3, specimen, 样本, 标本. The scientist collected a specimen of the rare butterfly for further study. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comments section, and the correct answer will be announced tomorrow. The International Bagpipe Organization and the Bagpipe Society co-founded International Bagpipe Day in 2012. They have been helping to introduce the bagpipe to new players since 1986. It is important to them that the history and playing of the bagpipes are preserved. The purpose of this day is to raise awareness of the over 130 different types of bagpipes found around the world. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune in to Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host, and I will see you next time.